Hello, everyone, and welcome to SnodaCast Season 2, Episode 9. I'm your host, Black Chef 56, and of course, I am joined by Archangel.
Hello.
Gallows.
What up?
The wonderful, wonderful Hungry Hufflepuff, aka Allie.
I'm back.
That she is. And of course, what episode of SnodaCast would it be without the insignificant dumb fuck, Joker, aka Joe.
It's Christmas time a-coming, boys and girls.
That it is. But, of course, we still have many weeks before that. But speaking of weeks, time to go into weekly updates.
I know you're on the naughty list, Christian.
Oh, shut up. We're going to go into weekly updates, because what episode of SnodaCast doesn't have this? So, I'm going to ask the age-old question. How's everybody's week? Ark, we're gonna go ahead and start with you.
Well, it's been a little bit insane. Kind of going through a whole bunch of stuff right now, and then doing visitation weekend. So it's a thing.
Right. All right. Well, I wish you the best of luck on all that.
I know that's kind of rough.
Sorry, bro. From a dude who had to deal with that since he was like 7, since he was like 5. I mean, understand.
No, I've been.
All right. Well, Gallows, how was your week?
It's been okay.
That's
You're
good.
muted.
No, he's not.
Or he's muted on my end.
Nope.
Never mind.
Sure.
I figured it out.
Alright. Well, it's been an okay week. Nothing much really to report. Just tired mostly.
Fair enough. All right. Well, Allie, we haven't talked to you in a while, but how's your week in particular?
I choose not to spread negativity. Let's put it that way.
Fair enough.
Do it. Do it.
Joe, how was your week?
Exhausting, long, but I completely not have free Saturdays.
That's always good. All right.
No adjusters till the 8th.
Yeah, my week was I'm starting to gear up for finals in my classes, so that's been fun.
No pressure.
No pressure whatsoever. But that being said, it's also been just work. Nothing of major importance, other than I've gotten my girlfriend her gifts, so that's always a good thing. I got her gifts out of the way, and they should be here actually next week, so that'll be nice.
I still gotta get before.
Yeah, and I gotta get a few more things. Like I'm gonna get her some candy and some other stuff, but that's about it. But yeah. So if you guys are ready, we're gonna go ahead and get right into it with Now Showing.
Let's do it.
All right.
I found the duck.
Nice. Now Showing this week, we have our lovely animation, of course, 100%. But we have Diary of a Wimpy Kid, the new reboot with the new animated reboot of the classic book series. It's exclusively on Disney Plus. I don't know why I can't speak words. And of course, Arcane League of Legends on Netflix, which is completely out. It's been coming out in chunks of 3 for the past few weeks. But it is completely out, and we also have it renewed. It has now been renewed for a season 2, and they're already working on it, and they're aiming for next year, if I'm not mistaken. So let's go ahead and get into Diary of a Wimpy Kid, which I have seen. I understand why it was exclusively on Disney Plus, not only because it's not really something that's like their main streaming service, and it doesn't even pass an hour. This movie is literally maybe a 45-minute movie. But it's pretty good. I say it's a lot better than the live-action movie. It gets across the point of the books a little better. And, yeah. What do you guys think? Any thoughts, comments, concerns on this movie?
It was a good movie. I watched it. I didn't get to finish it because I fell asleep, but I watched it. I thought it was okay. A lot of funny parts in there. A lot of like, book related things, but mostly funny.
Yeah. Allie?
I don't know. Like so I read the first book.
Mm-hmm.
It hit a little too close to home for me,
Right.
and so I ever since then I've just tried to distance myself from that series.
Fair enough. I distanced myself after like the 6th or 7th book.
Oh damn! I didn't even know there was that many.
Dude, there's like
3 books.
12. It goes. I swear he should be in high school by now, but apparently, like it's. Yeah.
Are we doing that thing where they're stuck in like one fucking place for the rest of eternity?
I don't know. I think he's finally like venturing off from it. I think he's doing like a book series on Rally, like Rally doing the same thing. That Greg is doing. Honestly, Rally I think is a better character than Greg. Like Greg's fine. I don't mind Greg, but I think Rally is a better person.
Definitely.
Yeah. I guess in some ways.
Well, I feel that's what he is. I kind of feel like that's why I feel about him. He's a narcissist.
Oh yeah, Greg is a narcissist, 100%. I will say this: he's less of a egotist that in this version than he was in the live action version. They make you
like they didn't even consult the writer.
Well, they did because they followed the story relatively close, like in the first 3.
That's the writing doing the show.
Yeah. But that being said, I actually wouldn't mind more of these that are shorter versions. They're essentially just clear-cut copy of the book with a few tweaks here and there. Now, I will say this, it felt like they made this during the pandemic because anytime the mom had any dialogue, it sounded like she had a different mic. And you could like audibly tell that it was like, okay, so maybe she had to record her lines from like outside the studio. Everybody else sounds great, but like, yeah. Anybody else have any more thoughts, comments, concerns on this Diary of a Wimpy Kid reboot? Cheese touch. Alright. Now on to Arcane. I'm almost done with this series. I'm liking it. It's really good for a person who's not really into the League of Legends lore, nor has really played... I've played League of Legends, but not by much. I'm actually super into the show. I don't know who's going to live or die. I mean, I know Jinx isn't going to die, and I know Vi isn't going to die, as far as I know. But, like, there's been some character deaths in this that I actually had my jaw drop. There was, especially in Episode 3. Episode 3 really had some, like, shocking character deaths. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Bro, I felt bad for her brother, bro. That's all I can really say. I felt bad for them.
Oh.
I kind of feel like I kind of feel like they didn't deserve that type of death.
No. Yeah, 100%. But
it was just very. She really was trying to help. It's just that
she helped a little too much.
She was messing with things she didn't understand.
Exactly. Okay, I will say this. So, this isn't really a spoiler, and I think it's like episode 4 when we finally get Jinx, not Powder. They do have her listening to Get Jinxed, which is an official League of Legends song, by the way. I've heard it before, and I was like, okay, that's a nice Easter egg. I like that. Because as soon as I heard I just heard, la 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 no.
I enjoy the idea of her listening to her theme song.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool.
I never knew that.
Yeah,
I just thought somebody made that song and put it in the show and put it in the movie like they always do.
No, it's an official League of Legends song. Honest to God.
Yeah,
it's actually pretty cool.
It has a really cool video too.
I've actually never seen the video for it though.
No, I'm in the same boat as you. I've tried to play League of Legends. I don't play League of Legends. I've tried for a full day to play League of Legends and I couldn't. I got more hooked within 3 minutes of the first episode.
Yeah.
I played that for a few minutes in this.
Yeah. I like League of Legends. It's okay, but it just gets boring after a while.
I like the lore, and I think that's a large part of why I'm enjoying the series as much as I am.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm definitely interested in this. Which, by the way, I did look up how Victor is supposed to look.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
I'm super excited to see where they go from there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, like, watching the first 3 episodes, you get really attached to these characters because even from my perspective, I have some idea of where they're going, and it's like, oh god, I can already tell where things are happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I will say this, there is a character that dies that I could have swore to God was going to turn into Garen. because he had like a similar color scheme. He kind of almost had like a big build, and I was like, okay, cool. So he is gonna be Garen. And then when he dies, that was one of those deaths in episode 3 that I was like, oh shit. I was like, damn.
So like, just to, I don't know, not well. Spoiler alert. Not really spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
But when you guys get to episode 9, be prepared by who dies at the end, towards the end of it.
Okay. I'll keep it.
It's really surprising. It's really surprising what happens. That's all I really can say about it.
Okay.
Well, one of the big things from episode 3 that got me was after. So you have these two characters that are hopped up on the Shimmer. The one that's just completely under the will of the antagonist, and then the one who's taking it to protect everybody, and just seeing the fear in his eyes when he goes to try to help by and seeing her afraid of him.
Yeah.
Like just that acknowledgement that he is still in there, he is still who he is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is terrifying. Yeah.
God, that look hurt me.
Oh yeah. I will say this: the one scene that did break me was in episode 3, and it's what particularly happens with Powder.
Yeah.
I was like, that.
I felt bad for Powder at the beginning,
yeah.
but then when it came down to watching the rest of the show, I just couldn't feel bad for her. I understand what happened to her changed her, but I don't know.
I know she
I
is
just feel
supposed
like
to
that
get
was
pink
a
eyes,
dramatic thing.
because I know that's like the biggest thing about Jinx is she gets pink eyes. So I'm super excited about that. You know what I just realized is I actually have Jinx colors. I have the purplish pink and the blue. I just realized that. But yeah, any more thoughts, comments, concerns on Arcane?
I'm looking forward to watching the rest of the series.
Oh yeah.
I hope you guys enjoy it. That's all I can really say. I hope you guys really enjoy the rest of the series. I did.
I'm super excited for
Really
season
fucking
2.
good.
100% I am super excited for season 2. Damn, we had 2 viewers and now we're down to 0 again. I guess Shadow's internet shout out, which sucks.
Well,
but anyways, if you guys are ready,
that scared her one away.
Yeah, let's go to the next story.
Okay, so this is actually breaking news as of not even an hour ago, or about an hour ago. As of about an hour ago, we got the first look at Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. And yeah, I can already hear Allie just fangirling out over there. I will say this, I'm super, super, super excited about this, just because Spider-Verse was Into the Spider-Verse was one of the biggest surprises for me when it came out, because I saw it and I saw it being advertised. I'm like, it's just another it's a kiddie movie, whatever. And then when I saw reviews, everybody's like, no, you need to go see this. This is the best Spider-Man movie. And when I finally saw it, I was like, yeah, no, this is definitely the best Spider-Man movie.
It was a good one. It was a good one. I didn't think it was.
I would say this. When it comes to live action, I think the best one has to be hands down Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 is the best live action movie. When it comes to Spider-Man movies as a whole, I think Into the Spider-Verse is the best one, because it's one that I can watch over and over and over again and still love it each time.
Well, and Into the Spider-Verse was kind of a breakout for animation in and of itself.
Oh, 100%.
Just the way they did it.
Yeah, the way they did it. And I love Phil Lord and Chris Miller. I would have loved to have seen their version of Solo, because they were originally attached to the Solo movie. And then they got fired. And apparently, there's rumors saying that they quit because of creative differences. I think Disney fired them. And then they hired Ron Howard, and he reshot 90% of the movie. Which makes me sad.
So what 10% of the movie is still theirs, though? That's the question.
I don't know. There's debates on how much of the movie was changed when Ron Howard was brought on. Which, don't get me wrong, Ron Howard has some good movies. It's just... I still haven't seen it. Yeah. No, it's complicated. I will say that. Like, I heard the movie is not the worst thing in the world, but it's also not the best either. Like, I heard it's one of the lower rated... It's not the lowest rated. I think the lowest rated Star Wars movie is Rise of Skywalker.
I thought it did pretty good.
It was okay. It was a good turn your brain off movie. But anyways, I personally...
There's that ADHD.
Yeah. I personally... Anyways, that being said, back onto the Spider-Verse. I'm super excited for this. This isn't really a trailer. It is just a... it is essentially just a freaking... it's just a first look. And it seems like the same animation style. It looks like they're picking up right where the movie left off, which is fantastic.
Well, honestly, if this is all we get as a advertisement for the movie, I will be happy.
I don't think that's gonna happen because this is a Sony property.
No, it's not.
And Sony is notorious for, like, as soon as the movie comes out to release, you're gonna see 15,000 TV spots in the span of 30 minutes. I will say this,
but
when we get an official trailer, we're gonna definitely be talking about that. Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter if we had 8 topics before that. We are definitely going to be talking about it whenever we get an official trailer. But I still am interested to see the main reason why they're having to cross multiple dimensions. I'm interested to see the real reason why. Don't get me wrong. I love the meme of Spider-Man 2099 doing the pointing thing with classic, like, I'm talking like 60s cartoon Spider-Man, you know. It's like, no, I'm not pointing, you're pointing at me. It's like, you're the one that's pointing at me. You're rude. It's like, no, pointing is rude. That was so funny. I genuinely giggled my ass off when I saw that.
Yeah. Shad and I were here in the voice chat when the trailer got posted over here, and Shad, I'm pretty sure you knew exactly where at what point I hit the 2099 part.
Yeah, you're like, ooh, and I was
all my excitement just exploded out of me then and there.
Oh yeah, 100%. I could tell. It was pretty easy to see that. Yeah. But
I'm kind of curious why Miguel O'Hara's over there fighting with Miles.
I am interested too. I don't really see it as fighting.
Miles changed the suit.
Miles did change it. He upgraded it a little bit. Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing. Is he fighting? Is he sparring? Is he trying to teach Miles how to fight?
I don't know. It doesn't. To me, it didn't really look like fighting. It looked more like he's trying to very aggressively get after him. I don't think it's really fighting. I think it's more like he's like, no, get the fuck over here. I want to tell you something.
You know what
needs to be there's so much momentum.
The Whataburger Spider.
If they don't at least reference that, I think they have a missed opportunity. 100%. The Wada Spider. Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that. That would be funny. Yeah.
But the other good part about this is we know for a fact that it's part 1.
That's true. And I would say that they're probably working on parts 1 and 2 simultaneously. At least if there is 2. Or else they wouldn't have called it part 1. And I think what it is they've been working on this for the past couple of years. And I think that they had so much that they wanted to tell. They're like, okay, we can't tell this in one movie. We're gonna have to do 2.
Honestly, I'm glad for it.
Oh, yeah. Now, I'm not saying... I don't think... Because I think they're still going to try to mostly market towards kids. I don't think it's going to be 2 hours long. I would love it to be. But I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be about an hour and a half, maybe an hour 40 minutes. You know, enough to keep the kids entertained, but not enough to make them go like, okay, this is starting to go on too long. Unless they have that much crazy bullshit that they got to say. So, I would say, don't expect this to be over 2 hours long. No, I think these will still be short, sweet, precise, and still have enough to hit the point on.
And still going to be fun as hell.
Oh, absolutely. Just from an animation standpoint alone. I definitely am super excited about this. I even love, from what I've seen, they have the Miles Morales suit in Spider-Man Miles Morales. and it actually has that like kind of weird animation style of like it almost goes stop motion and fluid. It changes the amount of frames per second, and that's in the game. So I'm like, I still want to play Spider-Man Miles Morales just because
I want to play Spider-Man in general. I have not played it yet.
Yeah, but I want to get a PS5 before I get it.
Why?
Miles Morales, I feel like, is a next-gen bundle thing. I'm tempted to play it, but I mean, if it push comes to shove, I wouldn't mind getting it on PS4. I just kind of want to get the definitive or the special edition, because the special edition comes with the remaster of Spider-Man 2018. With the
with the Tom Holland,
the Tom Holland wannabe. Yeah, the Tom Holland wannabe. Yeah, I still have my mixed feelings about that, but it was whatever. Yeah. Anyway,
so, another thing about the first look.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know who else is going to be in it.
That's true. We don't know what.
We don't know if we're getting anybody returning from Into the Spider-Verse. We don't know what versions that we haven't even seen yet are going to be there. Like,
I would say Yeah, go ahead.
There's the only characters we have seen for certain are Miles, Gwen, and Miguel.
That's true. I would say if they don't bring back Spider-Ham, they are definitely missing an opportunity.
Yes.
Bring back John Mulaney. Just bring him back.
Spider-Ham was exactly what I had in mind.
Yeah.
None of that matters without Nick Cage.
That is true. That's the other one I was going to say. If you don't have Nicolas Cage as Spider-Man Noir and give him a bigger freaking part, you have missed your opportunity.
Well, and that might be why, because if they're going to bring back most of the original cast, as far as these spider people are concerned, they're probably going to want to take their time with each of them now, because we've already been introduced to the idea that this is going to be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, start exploring their stories a bit more, instead of the piles of comic books on top of each other that we got in.
That was very entertaining, though.
It was.
Yeah. You know who was playing Peter Parker, like the the blonde version?
Peter Parker?
No, not Peter B. Parker. The one.
Oh, Peter A. Parker.
Yeah, Peter A. Parker.
Not a clue.
Chris Pine was voicing him.
Ooh.
Believe it or not.
Damn.
Chris Pine voiced him. So, I was like, I know that voice somewhere. Where do I know that voice? And then I looked up the
Was
cast.
he not the same one for the other one?
No, Peter B. Parker was voiced by, I forget his name, but he's actually really funny. Give me a second. Continue talking about Spider-Verse, Allie. Give me a second. Yeah.
So, when I first got into Marvel, Spider-Man was hands down my absolute favorite, and when I discovered Into the Spider-Verse, the comic series, I was attached. Just the exploration of the different multiverses through the eyes of the spider. Though, are we going to something that comes to mind now, with that said? Are we going to get introduced to the Inheritors?
That would be.
Okay.
That would be kind of cute.
Jake Johnson is the guy who voices Peter B. Parker.
Because the introduction of the Inheritors as a group of antagonists would be the perfect reason for pulling Miles back into the Spider-Verse, because he's had experience dealing with the multiverse antics. And if Spider People are going missing / turning up dead, they're going to want all hands on deck.
So,
Pure speculation, but
fun fact. You guys want to know how old Haley Steinfeld is?
How?
24.
Oh shit! Damn,
I thought she was a little younger, to be perfectly honest.
Well, you said 24? Oh, that's not
24.
that bad.
No, I'm not saying it is. I just said I was actually genuinely taken back. I was like, oh, didn't expect her to be 24. Cool. But, yeah, it was Jake Johnson, who's actually genuinely funny. I liked him as a very, very, very worn out Peter Parker. Yeah, it's like you definitely want to put baby powder on the joints, and I'm like, oh, okay, so this isn't the idealized Peter Parker. This is Peter Parker. I've been doing this for 20 years. Like, I'm giving you actual fucking pro tips, not tips on just how to be a great leader or whatever. No. I'm giving you actual tips. Like, this shit's gonna help you later on.
Oscar Isaac does Miguel O'Hara.
Yeah, Oscar Isaac does play Miguel O'Hara, 100%.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I'm excited.
Oh yeah.
How it goes. But at the same time, I wonder if he's spreading himself a little bit too thin. Having another role he has to play.
Moon Knight, yeah. Well, when it comes to voice acting, it's a little less stress on your whole body. I will say that. I would say it's less stress on your body and mind because they give you a general idea of what you're looking at.
Yeah, but it's not even that. It's the fact that you gotta switch from one character to another.
Oh yeah, that's true too. But I think they've pretty much done film. I think they're done filming Moon Knight, if I'm not mistaken. If not, they're close. And then I think if you're already getting first looks into the across the Spider-Verse is it's probably close to done. I would say at least part 1. I don't know about part 2. But yeah, no, I definitely can't wait. Any more thoughts, comments, concerns on Across the Spider-Verse part 1 first look?
No.
I am cutting myself off because this is one of those subjects that I will go on for hours about.
Fair enough.
Did you know that the female Dr. Octopus is actually the same person that was in WandaVision?
Yeah, Catherine O'Hara.
Yes.
She's absolutely hilarious. I love her to death. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Catherine Hahn or
Catherine
however
Hahn.
You say her
Yeah.
name.
I said O'Hara. It's actually Catherine Hahn. Yeah. I actually did bite a kid once. That's a line that she had in. It's like, oh, I don't bite. I actually did bite a kid once.
Forgive me, I was not
100% paying attention. It's okay, Joe.
Just rage, angrily.
She is getting
typing
her. She is getting her own series though.
Oh joy.
Yeah, as Agatha Harkness.
That's gonna be interesting.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah. All right. So if you guys are ready, we're gonna go ahead and go into our second topic of the night.
Probably a good idea.
Yep. Alrighty then. So it has been leaked that BioShock 4, which I think is called Isolation. I think they've revealed the title, but I don't think they revealed anything else. It has been leaked of the exact location and time period we are looking to see this game take place in, and it is going to be a fictional town in the Antarctic region, as well as taking place in the 1960s. I am a fan of BioShock. I have yet to complete all the BioShock games.
I love BioShock, bro.
Yeah, no, I'm actually super excited about this. I honestly thought they swore off making any more BioShock games just because BioShock Infinite wasn't really well received from what I remember. But I think this is going to be a more back to basics kind of thing. I think this is going to be more of a kind of horror survival action game instead of a whatever BioShock Infinite was. I think they're kind of going back to roots.
It's more like oh, we're gonna open up that racism existed in this time period and all this other shit.
Oh, so it went woke.
Yeah, it went woke way too early for its age, basically.
Yeah.
So the first two games of BioShock threw us in a sparsely populated area where just about everything that moved was an enemy.
Fair enough.
BioShock Infinite had people everywhere you went, and half the time they were enemies. I'm wondering if this is going to be, you don't know what's around, you don't know what is going to attack you, you just know that something is there.
Okay.
Basically, are they going to go back to the beginning, or?
I think they're going to go back to basics. I think they're going to, forgive me for making a meme, I think they're going to go back to formula.
That's a good meme.
Yeah.
I'm hoping. This is gonna sound. I'm not sure how this is gonna sound, but with the Isolation in the title, I'm really hoping they don't do a copy of Alien Isolation.
I was thinking the same thing. I don't know, and I don't know 100% if it's going to be called Isolation. I only skimmed through the article, mostly to get the main point of what was leaked. But I will say that if it is called Isolation, I think putting it in the Antarctic is a good enough start. Because when you think about it, yeah, I'm thinking like a 30 Days of Night kind of situation. Which, by the way, if any of you, well, not with vampires, but I'm just saying like a 30 Days of Night. No, definitely not vampires.
That would be whack.
I don't think that game needs math.
No, I would definitely say maybe have something similar to what BioShock 1 and 2 were. I would say definitely go back to, like I said, go back to formula, and I think that you will have a good game on your hands. Definitely with a new location.
Probably, but I mean, I don't know. Depending on how the people
the big question I have is, with BioShock Infinite's introduction of reality hopping the way they did, are we back in the same universe as BioShock 1, or are we in a completely different universe from 1, 2, and Infinite?
We don't know. There's very few details that have been leaked. Primarily, the biggest one was that the biggest two were the time period that it's taking place in, which is the 1960s, which is going to be interesting enough. I hope they don't go the route I think they're going to go, because there's a lot of stuff that happened in the 1960s. But and also the main location, which is the Antarctic region, so a fictional town in the Antarctica, which is not a bad location for a survival horror game, I think, in my personal opinion. So, and that's kind of the biggest thing. I think that was the biggest element from BioShock, was it was an action game, but first and foremost, it was a survival horror game.
Well, the reason I bring up the different realities part is one of the mainstays of the BioShock series has been plasmids, tonics, whatever they're called over the games.
Like that, basically?
Yeah, the abilities that you gain from these experiments that are done.
Right.
I'm curious to see what they're going to use for this one, which is why I wonder about which reality we're in, because if we're back in the original, we're back to plasmids, we're back to Adam and Eve. However, if we're in a completely different one, that's a whole nother route for those experiments to have gone.
That is true. I think personally there's so many different options that they could do, but I think they're probably going to play it safe with this, if they're gonna, and then maybe the next game they'll do something different.
If there is a next game, though.
That's true. That is if there's another next game, or that is if there's a game that comes after it. Yes.
Well, my thing is, though, if they're going to end the series here, or are they going to continue it?
I think.
I don't know. I want them to end it.
It'll all depend on how this game is received.
That is 100% true. I would say they're probably going to treat it as last game, though.
After the backlash that came after Infinite, them doing this is them testing the waters, seeing if they can push out a new game and get the same kind of success that they saw with 1 and 2.
Right.
If it doesn't perform well, then this is going to be their last game, and I don't blame them for treating it like it's going to be their last game.
Right. Yeah, no, I would definitely... I mean, look at No Way Home. No Way Home treated it before we got the... which is a topic we are going to talk about. Before we got the good news that we are going to talk about here in a bit. No Way Home was being treated as the last Spider-Man movie. For Tom Holland. So...
It's the concept of hoping for the best while preparing for the worst.
Yes, that is essentially what I think they are going to follow on this. I would say if they're going to play it safe, they will probably keep it relatively similar to the first game, and then just have a different location and a different time setting.
Which is really what threw me off about the last game was the ending of it. To me, the ending threw me off because I really didn't understand it. Like, it was a whole different multiverse, but he dies in all of them basically.
Yeah.
from what I've been told, the lore behind Bioshock Infinite is
out there,
a lot. Yeah,
to say the least.
To say the least, yeah.
I don't. Okay, unpopular opinion. I don't consider it canon.
Fair enough.
It does its own story.
Well, because the second one ended. The second one had ended the series. Ended the series for the first 2 games.
Yeah.
So basically, they went off like, yeah, we're just gonna make it a whole new one.
That's kind of the issue with multiverse in and of itself. What is and isn't canon is completely up for interpretation because things change between the different universes.
That's true.
Very true.
That's why. Sorry to bring us back to Marvel, but that is why What If is what it is.
Fair enough.
Any talk of multiverse theory or different universes, different realms of existence that are connected at all have to take into account the minute to major changes that happen. And in a video game sense, this is going to lead to discussions over what is and is not canon.
Fair enough. Alright.
I think it should be considered canon due to the fact that when the DLC that still has the main character from the last game, the girl who can open up the portals, goes back into the beginning, back to the beginning, back into the underwater town, basically, underwater city. They go back into there, and so that's why it should be canon though.
Well, for a brief moment in the main game itself, they're in Rapture as well. Like, it's just a small moment, but them dealing with Songbird for the last time had him drowning outside of Rapture.
True.
Interesting. I definitely kind of want to pick these games back up again.
Right?
Yeah.
You really should.
Yeah.
Well, the Bioshock...
You'll love them.
Well, not to make an advertisement or anything, but the Bioshock collection is a thing.
No, I've owned the I own the Bioshock collection, digital wise, but yeah, I just need to re-download it. That's the only problem. But I am going to be upgrading my PS4 soon this Christmas to a SSD.
Woohoo!
A 1 terabyte
What is
SSD.
that?
So then I'll a solid state drive. So instead of a hard disk drive, which is what the PS4 currently has, I'm going to upgrade that to a solid state drive, which will be faster load times. Yeah. I'm going to upgrade it to a 1 terabyte, so then I'll have 4 terabytes of storage in total. Because I have a 1 terabyte connected external hard drive, and then I have a 2 terabyte external hard drive connected as well. So.
Back to the main subject on this topic.
Well,
yes, them going to Antarctica is definitely a good move.
No, I 100% agree. Keep it as a closed off area again. But that being said, any more thoughts, comments, concerns on Bioshock 4 taking place in Antarctica and taking place in the 1960s?
Oh, I love it. I'm ready for it, bro. I'm ready to play it. I'm ready to fucking finally get back to Bioshock.
I think they said that they're aiming for a 2022, maybe early 2023 release.
I mean, I hope it's soon, because
Yeah.
I mean, I am a big Bioshock fan. Like, I'm not that big, but I am big enough where, like, I would love to play the whole game all over again.
Right.
I said this when we talked about Marvel Spider-Man 2 coming out in 2023. I'm going to say it again. I don't mind them taking their time as long as they put out a finished product.
Right. No, I 100% agree on that.
I just really hope they deal with the game is good, and it's just, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, on to our next topic, which I technically hinted at a little bit earlier. It's official. We are getting 3 more Tom Holland Spider-Man films in the MCU. The contract was renewed. Yeah. And
we broke the curse.
We broke the curse. Now, I will say this. Tom Holland has stated...
Tom Holland dies.
Yeah. Well, no, Tom Holland has stated that he does not want to play Spider-Man whenever he reaches 30.
He's pretty much like...
When he said when he's in his 30s, he doesn't want to play him. So that being said,
blame him?
No, I don't either. I mean, he's in his mid-20s now, so or he said he doesn't want to play it past 30. So I think personally, they need to hurry the fuck up on how many Spider-Man movies they're doing. But I think, honestly, if they have him in college, which I think should be the next trilogy, it should be him in college instead of him just in high school. Depending on where No Way Home leaves him off, I don't know if he's going to have, because I don't know if the spell's going to end up working completely, where he's going to have to go back to being, a scrappy Spider-Man, or he's just going to have Stark Tech, but he's going to have to work with what he has. I don't know
Watch
exactly
become
what's
Parker
going on.
Industries like the comic book.
That would be super
What
cool.
really got me? What really got
It'd
me?
be kind of whack, but
Him and Dr. Octopus with Arctech.
I can now say that you can't.
Oh, yeah.
You can't. Tony Stark, not as a character, can never be gone forever.
No, but I think...
No, his influence is always going to be seen.
Well, if you look at the new posters that they released, one with Electro, it shows that he clearly has an arc reactor on his thing, which makes me think that all of these, all Electro.
Oh,
Apologies, everyone. I got a
Electro.
mild emergency. I gotta.
my apologies. Yeah, he probably yoinked it. He probably yoinked it from his gravestone.
Yeah, but I will say this. No, I think that it's like an Iron Man 3 arc reactor. So I think personally he found. I think they found one, and they just stole it. I think they're all stealing Stark Tech, which is fine. I also don't believe that Doc Ock is going to be a villain the entire movie, just judging by where he was left off in Spider-Man 2, and they're saying that that's where they pick right up from.
Well, didn't he technically
Doesn't he become?
Yeah.
Doesn't he become Spider-Man though?
Doc Ock?
So
in the comics,
okay.
yes.
Yeah,
Not
that's what it's called.
Mind swapping.
Technically,
In the comics, this is the Superior Spider-Man storyline. The point where Doc Ock realizes that Spider-Man the entire time has been holding back.
Yeah.
that Peter kind of piggybacked in his body, so he was able to be like, "I'm back. What the hell happened?"
Yeah.
But no,
Except
it's
Doc Ock ended up bitch slapping Black Cat. Well,
so. I know that a lot of fan speculation with No Way Home has been in regards to them bringing back the original two Spider-Men.
Toby and Andrew.
Have we had anything regarding that?
I mean, you mean aside
Official.
from the fact that... Okay, anything official? No. But I mean, aside from the fact that they're doing some weird-ass shots, like that Brazilian trailer went a little too long, and you just see Lizard doing this. Like his fucking neck snaps, which means he's probably getting kicked in the face or punched. And it's also a super wide shot, and Lizard is nowhere near Tom. Electro looks like he's going after somebody. Sandman looks like he's going after somebody completely different. It looks more along the lines of, I think they cut two characters out of that, which granted you can do with CGI. I personally think that it's pretty much, I'm 99% sure. There's still a 1% chance that, they're probably not going to be in this. But I am 99% sure that if you're introducing the multiverse, if you're taking villains from said multiverse, and they're coming from the two most popular, two of the only live-action Spider-Man universes, I'm telling you, they're in this. Whether they're in it for 5 to 10 minutes, I don't know. But I'm telling you right now, they're in this.
With regards to that 10%, the fan backlash if they don't.
You mean my 1% chance? You mean my 1%?
Sorry, yeah, the chance that they don't. The fan backlash is going to be the worst we've seen to date.
Oh,
because
100%.
Everybody has been talking about this.
No, I 100% agree with you on that. Yeah, the fan backlash will be phenomenal.
This is going to be worse, in my opinion, than the backlash after Cyberpunk.
Oh, yeah, it'll be worse than that, 100%. I agree.
Dude, what I've heard about it was horrible.
Yeah.
They pumped that game so hard and then came out with shit. The shit-tastic shit, bro. It's horrible.
Well, here's the thing. The first sign that we should have taken into account is they were saying for all reviewers, they were not allowed to use their own gameplay. They had to use what was provided. That was the first sign that we were going to get a bad game. But anyways, no, I agree with you, Ali, 100% that if they aren't in this, the fan backlash alone will be terrible. Now, in my personal opinion, I think they are going to kill off one of the other spiders. I genuinely think they're going to. I'm saying that I have a feeling they're going to because of how dark Tom Holland said this movie is. Like, he said it's not as lighthearted and fluffy as the past two films have been. He said this one gets...
They actually let him say something about it?
Yeah, they're saying that he got it. Oh yeah, by the way, Gallows, your camera's like glitching out.
Yeah, I'm moving around, man.
Okay. But anyways, yeah, no, he said that it's going to be a very dark movie. Also, critics got to see like the first 40 minutes of it yesterday. So they're keeping a lot of stuff secret in this movie. And I'm telling you, they're just trying not to spoil everything, because apparently with Eternals, there was a critic that got to see the whole thing. He spoiled the end credits scene, everything. So people got that spoiled for them. Yeah.
Why do people do that?
Well, he tweeted it as soon as he was out of the theater.
Like,
I don't get why people
on.
do it. It's bullshit in my opinion, but you know, it's
up.
whatever. I think Sony's playing it smart with how they're doing this. They're mostly focused. The main thing they're focusing on, aside from the other two villains, like you notice, we really haven't gotten a spot dedicated to Lizard. We really haven't gotten a spot dedicated to Sandman. The two main villains that we've gotten any spots like closely related to have been Electro and Doc Ock, with a little bit of Green Goblin in there. And I think it's smart. And also, like, the biggest action scene besides the Statue of Liberty that we've been seeing is that freeway thing, that bridge scene. And I think that keeping it milking that, which granted means that probably is going to happen within the first 50 minutes or so. I would be shocked if it didn't. I don't either. I personally think that I don't know, man. I have so many thoughts on this. I just don't want to get anything else spoiled for me. Don't get me wrong. If I see an update or something like that, I'll check it out. But I'm kind of the point of, like, we're like 2 weeks away from this movie. There's going to be plenty of spoilers that are going to be coming out. I kind of want to chill.
You best believe I am staying off of social media when the movie hits theaters.
Oh, yeah. No, I do have a chance of possibly going to see it on Thursday. A buddy of mine that I bumped into, he has 2 extra tickets, so I might go see it with him. I'm going to try to get my girlfriend to go, but she doesn't know she'll be off. I'm going to try to get off earlier that day because it's a 3 o'clock.
Think I'll get to meet her while we're down there? While I'm down there?
I don't know, Joe. We'll talk about that later.
Don't worry, I'll just ask her to tell me any embarrassing stories about you.
Shut up, Joe.
But going back to what I was saying about the first look at Across the Spider-Verse.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, when it comes to movie trailers and stuff like that, less is more. The less we know about what's going on in the movie itself, the more we're intrigued to see it, because leaving some air of mystery as to what's going to happen, leaving enough of a mystery that we need to know.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to fill seats way better than showing all the big action scenes.
No, that's fair.
And honestly, I don't blame them for trying to keep it as much under wraps as they are.
No, I don't either. I think it's smart.
I think they're doing it because after what Tom Holland did with the Spider-Man trailer, I think they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna keep this dude and keep his mouth shut already.
Yeah.
They've been doing that since Civil War.
That is fair. Yeah.
Well,
I feel bad for him. I really do, because he just gets so excited about the stuff that he's making, and then he doesn't realize it. I mean, he's gotten to the point where they've given him opposite scripts of, like, until the day that he has to shoot, and then they're like, yeah, motherfucker, keep your fucking mouth shut about this. Yeah, we can do it again.
Heck, I think at one point I think at one point they had Benedict Cumberbatch babysitting him.
That's funny. That is pretty funny.
But, like, I get why they're doing it. I also get where he's coming from, because if I was a part of any of this, I would want to tell people.
Oh, yeah, I'm right there with you, 100%. I will say this. I'm excited about this movie. I'm happy that he's getting 3 more. I can't be more excited for him. It's just, I'm nervous, man. I'm nervous that they won't pull this off, because they're being very highly ambitious with this. I don't know how they're gonna do it.
I don't want them to
just don't
doing big.
No Man's Sky it or Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
As long as they don't
excited for the game, and next thing you know, doing cheap track.
So, we know this isn't the first time that they pulled multiple villains into the same Spider-Man movie. Spider-Man 3.
Well, I'm just saying, but this is like the first time they've ever done it with Spider-Man across, across separate movies. Like, this is separate Spider-Man villains. So,
I'm hoping they learned their lesson from Spider-Man 3.
I am too. I noticed that they're only keeping it down. Well, okay, granted, they are going to do a Sinister 6. Or at least a Sinister 5. So, I'll give them benefit of the doubt on that. But...
yeah. Well, we kind of have to with that, because the Sinister 6, Sinister 5, the Sinister Group is kind of a big thing in the Spider lore.
Well, yeah, 100%. Hell, we even got one with the game. I still think, personally... I think they're gonna have to include Michael Keaton's Vulture in this somehow, or it's gonna be Scorpion. I think Scorpion's finally gonna make an appearance on live action. I think that's probably what's gonna happen.
Worst case scenario, Scorpion is Tommy Wiseau.
No, they've already technically teased Scorpion.
Yeah, I did not hit her.
Nah. They've already teased Scorpion in the first Spider-Man movie, where he was the guy with the really dicked up eye at the end of in that post-credit scene.
No,
actually,
there are a variety of Spidey villains that they could pull in for that 6th spot.
It's true. I personally think, since you already have Electro, you already have Green Goblin, you already have Sandman, you already have Lizard. I do think that, honest to God, either you're gonna have Ned become Hobgoblin, which is not a bad thing. I wouldn't necessarily mind it. Or you're gonna have Scorpion come in. I'm just saying.
I don't know who the Sinister Six was inside the comic. So
oh, it's been God knows how many freaking different villains.
Yeah, no, they've been through so many different rosters.
The original one was Green Goblin, Rhino, Electro, Doc Ock, and sometimes it's Kingpin, but I don't know. I think the original lineup was Doc Ock, and then I want to say Lizard. It was either Lizard or Sandman, one of the two.
The only team roster that has seen more changes, in my opinion, has been the Suicide Squad.
Well, that one's for good reason.
Well, they do go to different fucking people every day, every time she sends them out. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's kind of my point.
Yeah. All right. Well, any more thoughts, comments, concerns on Tom Holland getting 3 more Spider-Man movies in the MCU?
Bring it.
Bring it, bro. I'm ready to see it.
Oh yeah, 100%. All right. On to some unfortunate news, also involving Spider-Man. We have, apparently, there are people that are scalping premiere tickets for Spider-Man No Way Home and are charging upwards of $25,000 on eBay. Y'all got thoughts?
Well, if it weren't for the light, Joe, we would have seen those. The light hid that perfectly.
Yeah.
No, scalpers are some of the worst opportunists because of the way they prey on just about everybody.
That's true. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure as people separately, like individuals, they're fine. I'm sure they're decent people. They're just like, no, I can just make a few extra bucks on this. But the ones that are actually using bots and shit, fuck you.
Yeah.
The ones that are just buying like 3 or 4 copies or 3 or 4 different things, and they have the money to spend on it, and then they turn around and sell it. Those people, I don't like them because they do that, but I also don't necessarily hate them because at least they're buying it by themselves. They're not using bots.
It's also the ones that buy them themselves and then turn around and have the ridiculous markup.
Well, yeah, that's the reason why they're still called scalpers. But like at least then, at least they're just doing it by themselves. They're not relying on bots, and yeah.
Well, here's the thing, especially regarding this subject. How much is a movie ticket?
Movie tickets like maybe $10.
Depends on where you go.
$9 per ticket, depending on where you go.
Well, and here's the thing is, I think it's probably California that's having a lot of it because the Chinese theater and everything else like that. I think these are mostly premiere tickets. Those are the ones that everybody's not. I would love to go see something premiere at the Chinese theater, 100%. That is also on my
Not in my lifetime.
No, I will go see a premiere at the Chinese theater.
If I could get a nice seat with any actress.
Joe, you're assuming that any actress is going to show up and actually watch their movie for the premiere. 9 times out of 10, they have a questionnaire at the end of it, and then they're always backstage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be backstage.
No, but
you don't get backstage patches at movie premieres. But anyways, even then.
Even a premiere ticket at the Chinese theater.
You
think that's gonna be over maybe $150?
Probably not. I would say probably close to like 30 or 40.
You just gotta have the right connection.
So them turning around and selling these tickets for the amount they are.
Yeah.
That is where I have a problem, because that's more than them turning around and trying to make a profit. That is them just
like preying on people. No, I 100% agree. It is preying on people's desperation to go see this movie. And I agree. No, I'm not that desperate either, but nobody's selling tickets.
If we pull it in to do a Cinemark or AMC, whatever, and tickets are sold out when I'm down there, I have to start.
Buddy, by the time that you're down there, tickets will not be sold out. They'll have more tickets. It's like the first 3 days it's out.
It's crap like that happens down there.
It's not. I can still get premiere. Dude, I can go get a freaking ticket right now.
My only problem is
from AMC.
My girlfriend will watch it.
I might just wait until I'm down there to go see it.
Okay, that's fine.
Either
Anyways,
with
Gallus,
you or with my dad.
Yeah. Gallus,
I was saying my biggest problem.
No, if I go with my dad, would you care if I invite you along?
Joe.
Yeah. Alright, I'll shut the fuck up now.
Thank you. Gallus.
The only problem is my girlfriend is getting my girl to go watch it. It's not that she doesn't like Marvel. It's just that her family has always waiting for the movie to come out on DVD to watch it.
Yeah.
Or just to watch it and shit like that. And I'm not like that. I go and watch them in the theaters because it's better that way.
My parents are that way too. They're like, they'll wait till it's on streaming or anything else like that. And because they don't like going to the theater. I personally love going to the theater. So, like, the day that I say I don't want to go to a movie theater to go see a movie that I'm actually wanting to see, the day that I say, I'll just wait till it's out on disc or whatever, shoot me. I'm telling you right now.
I believe you ever say that, it's because the movie wasn't that good. Like people say it was.
No, I'm saying if it's a movie that I've been saying, oh, I can't wait to go see it, and then by the time it comes out in theaters, I'll be like, I'll just wait till it's out on disc. Shoot me.
Well, Chad, you have seen me after stepping out of the theater.
No, I've seen you. Seeing overseas.
There's a reason why I prefer to do streaming or DVDs. Like,
and I get that. I'm just talking about like me as a person. I love going to the theater. It's an experience that I love. Don't get me wrong. I was about ready to kill some kids when I went and saw Halloween Kills. I was prepared to kill some kids.
because they'd start talking and over the movie.
Yeah, they would not shut.
There's some of us.
Hey, I felt that way.
Okay.
But there's some of us people who we would love to go see things in theaters, but social anxiety, our mental states in general, we can't.
No, and I get that. I do.
Get it. I really.
Yeah.
Personally,
like I would
in theaters over watching them on disc. I prefer that way.
Like I would love to watch No Way Home in theaters. I know for a fact that those theaters are going to be packed from the moment it is in theaters to the moment it leaves, and I can't do it.
I will say
go
this.
in late when there's like going to be no kids.
No, what you want to do is you want to go into an early time on a weekday. I would say wait till the Tuesday after it comes out, because then hardly anybody's going to be there, and you're good. That would probably be your best chance.
That's
people
also
like
true. Yeah, that's also true.
People who are big old nerds and shit like that.
Oh yeah,
Don't get
no.
me wrong.
I mean, if I get the chance to go on Thursday, I'll fucking go. Even if my girlfriend doesn't want to go. And then if she wants to go turn around and see it later, I will be more than happy to go see it again, most likely.
You could just say it's a reboot of Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Joe, my girlfriend's not that much of a fucking girl. Shut up. She actually likes Marvel movies. Dude, her favorite movie genre is horror movies. So
you know what?
Shut up.
If I ever get to meet her, she has the right to give me a good smacking.
Bro, I'm gonna slap you. She doesn't get to get that opportunity. I'm gonna slap the shit out of you. Anyways, that being said, are you guys ready to go on to our next topic?
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Before
I end up like traveling,
before
before I end up getting a ticket to freaking Indiana so I can kick my squirt toe boot up your ass, would you guys like to go to our next topic?
Yes, before Shad just completely walks off screen, and the next thing we know, we're getting
we see you just hear knocks, and it's like, oh, who's that at the door? Like, surprise, motherfucker. No, I'm not gonna do that.
and then you hear Brokeback Texas in the background.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Anyway.
Oh, that took a turn.
Yeah, that did. That took a really big ass game.
Moving on.
Anyways.
Moving on.
Our next topic is Book of Boba Fett officially has a second trailer, and I personally have not seen it, but I'm gonna continue to say my thoughts about this show. I think this show is going to be good. The only thing I don't want them to do is demysticize Boba Fett, which they already kind of started doing. But I feel like, because in Mandalorian Season 2, they did kind of try to say, like, oh yeah, but, they were still keeping it from what the prequels had set up. So that was fine. They've yet to explain how he got out of that Sarlacc pit, even though most likely it was a crate dragon that ate the Sarlacc, and then he managed to escape from there. Hence the reason he has all the scars on his face. But, that being said, I am excited about the show because it looks more like Star Wars Mafia than anything else. So, like, Star Wars version of The Sopranos is kind of what I'm getting from this.
Bro, that looks good. I like a movie like that. I'm a big Mafia dude. I love the Mafia.
Oh yeah, I love Mafia movies. Mafia movies are some of my favorite stuff to watch. Kill the Irishman was pretty entertaining. I liked it.
Did watch Irishman yet?
No, I'm talking about Kill the Irishman, not The Irishman. Kill the Irishman. It's a completely different movie.
Kill the Irishman was a really good movie. I enjoyed it a lot.
The Irishman is about 2 hours too long, but it's still good. It's a Scorsese film. Come on, man. It's a Scorsese film.
All I gotta say, the Irishman, the IRA, a bunch of people like the right is to America.
Oh yeah.
No, I do enjoy the idea that they are exploring more of Boba Fett specifically, not just the Mandalorians.
Oh yeah.
I do completely agree that if they ruin the mysticism, I'm gonna be mad.
Here's the thing. I think you could give him a fair enough backstory, but you don't have to explain everything. Like how he became such a badass fighter. You don't have to explain that. Because basically the Clone Wars kind of set that up. He was already working with bounty hunters, and I'm pretty sure he learned from other people. On top of that, he was already a genetic clone of Jango, and Jango knew how to fight. So, the clones knew how to fight. So it's not too far of a stretch that you can't... It's not like you have to spell everything out. With enough reasoning, you can do kind of what Mad Max Fury Road did, which is it gives you a general shape, but it's like connect the dots. You can kind of get a general idea.
With characters like Boba Fett, a lot of the times it's the mystery that draws people to them.
Exactly. Even
solving that mystery just kind of lessens the intrigue, lessens the desire to watch them.
No,
because now we've seen why they are the way they are, and they're just like everybody else now.
No, and I get it. I still think.
Try to...
Go ahead.
Watch him try to go on the hunt for Han again.
That I don't think that's gonna happen. I think
it would be funny.
It would be.
It was.
Now that's the one thing where I'm like, okay, how are you not liking Han Solo? Like, what's your? That's the one thing I'd be like, okay, I can't connect the dots on that. Why do you have such a disdain for Solo? That's what I want to know.
I was thinking of the Legends stuff where he survived. Fett survived. He still went after Solo.
Oh, I know about that. I'm just saying. I think at this point they're gonna avoid that. I think they're gonna make it to where it's like, okay, Fett is gonna essentially take over like Tatooine for the most part, like that gangster ring for the most part, like take over where Jabba was. So
probably a good idea.
I think that's fair, and I think
power vacuums are never a good thing.
Well, yeah, exactly.
My only thing was there's the whole Darth Vader thing, bro.
I don't think they're going to introduce Darth Vader in this, because you got to remember, Book of Boba Fett and The Mandalorian take place after Return of the Jedi.
So Vader be.
Oh, then yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You got Darth Vader.
Now the Kenobi show will have Darth Vader in it.
Kind of has to.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's their background. That's their story between each other.
Exactly.
That's their storyline between each other.
No, I completely agree. But yeah, no, I'm super excited for this show. I'm super pumped. You guys got any more thoughts, comments, concerns on Book of Boba Fett?
I am just ready for it. I'm just ready for it to come out. I think I'm gonna enjoy it for the most part.
I think Hawkeye will be wrapping up about the time that it comes out. If I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, Hawkeye should be like in its last few episodes by the time that show comes out. Because it's coming out later this month.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fucking Hawkeye's gonna be in the last couple episodes for the second season reappear.
I think Hawkeye is gonna bleed into No Way Home, and then I think Book of Boba Fett will start after that, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that a clever segue I'm hearing?
No, not necessarily. We're done talking about No Way Home. We've already gotten our 2 topics out of the way.
Oh, I was talking Hawkeye.
Oh, Hawkeye. Well, Hawkeye is coming a little bit later. We still got a couple more things we got to go over. Speaking of which, our next topic is... There's a new Adult Swim show called Learning with Pibby. This is going to be a very adult show, but it does involve a lot of Cartoon Network universes, and apparently these characters are not necessarily dying, but becoming a part of this amalgamation. This corruption, yeah, that's the best way to put it. This corruption. Think of the darkness from Neverending Story. Kind of like that. Except they're becoming a part of it. And this show looks very bloody, very gory. I'm actually super excited about it. It looks super fucked up. Like, I actually genuinely got uncomfortable in certain parts of the trailer. I think this is definitely going to be one of the more interesting Adult Swim shows that I've seen in a while. Just because usually most of their stuff is like, oh, look at that. Isn't that weird?
So I said this before. Before you put the screenshot, the clip in the chat, I had no idea what you were talking about.
I didn't put it there. Teddy did.
Fair. But seeing that, there have been clips of the trailer, I think, in the all over TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first interaction with it, and I'm just like, is this an actual thing, or is this some kind of fan creation?
I think it started as a fan creation, and then they got the rights to make it with Cartoon Network Studios and Adult Swim.
So seeing that, because I wanted to figure out what the heck was going on with in that world. Seeing it, I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, I'm right there with you.
Well, and especially since recently Cartoon Network has come out with Jellystone, which was supposed to be a bunch of old cartoon characters getting together and surviving each other in Jellystone Park.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing this seems a lot more interesting to me.
Oh yeah, I'm right there with you. You guys have any, aside from Ali, Gallows, Joe? Do you have any more? You have any thoughts, comments, concerns on learning with Pibby?
This will be interesting to watch.
It would be interesting to watch. I agree with
sure.
you. I agree.
They bring back old shows like Cow and Chicken.
I think they're going to. I mean, they've already done. I already saw like quite a few.
Kicking me so hard in the ribs.
What I saw was Adventure Time.
Adventure Time.
Flintstones.
Amazing World of
Scooby-Doo,
Gumball, Scooby-Doo. I want to say I saw. I don't know. To be honest.
Well, and that's part of what I enjoy about it, is because it's a mixture of old cartoons and more recent cartoons.
That's true.
Getting involved with it.
Oh yeah.
So it's appealing to multiple generations because it's involving quote unquote heroes from all of our times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I'm right there with you. I'm super excited, interested in the show. I wouldn't say excited. I'm super intrigued, for sure. Yeah.
It's definitely going to be interesting.
Oh, for sure. I mean, if I like stuff like Hell of a Boss, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna like this. Which, by the way, Vivzy Pop, I know it probably takes a while for the animation to get going. We need part 2 of that finale. Come on. We need some closure here. We need something. And then also, we need something with freaking Has-Been Hotel. I'm sick and tired of watching the pilot all the time.
Yeah.
As good of a pilot as it is. I'm saying
Hell of a Boss.
Hell of a Boss is fantastic. I'm just saying, like, I want some more Has-Been Hotel, because as good as the pilot is, I don't want to constantly watch it. I mean, you just get a deal with HBO Max, or hell, Adult Swim, I'm sure will definitely take it.
They take shit like that all the time. So
they do, yeah. I mean, look at Robot Chicken. Robot Chicken's still going strong, and it's been going on since.
I kind of thought they canceled that show like a couple years ago.
They've canceled it like 2 or 3 times.
I think they're in like their 12th season now.
Yeah, they've been going on forever. I mean, you know, they've been going on since I was a kid. Like, I stumbled upon it just staying up late enough, you know, and it was funny. I was like, oh, this shit's hilarious. I love it. But yeah, you know, it's just. I'm telling you, I think Adult Swim will pick it up, and then honestly, if they do that, it'll be kind of like Come and Learn with Pibby. You know, that's kind of the thing. I think it'll work. I really do.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right. If you guys are ready, we're gonna go ahead and go into our next topic. All right. Our next topic is, it's official. DICE no longer owns the rights to the Battlefield series. It is now under command of Respawn Entertainment, and I think personally, because of what they did with Fallen Order, I think that it's a good move. I think they could definitely do some really good stuff with it. What do you guys think?
I don't know. I'm not really too much into it per se. I don't know how to say it.
You're not a big Battlefield guy?
I'm not a big Battlefield guy. I'm more of a COD and fucking Modern Warfare and
Halo.
Medal of Honor.
Okay. That's fair.
I mean, Is it surprised that they probably got bought out? No, it happens a lot.
Yeah.
It happens a lot of companies. It doesn't really matter who you are.
I don't think the company got bought out, though. I think it's just the rights to the series has been shifted hands.
Yeah. Like I said, it doesn't really matter because a lot of them switch rights to the series. A lot of games have done it before, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. It depends on which company run it and how it goes.
That is true. Joe, you have any thoughts on this?
I would say things possibly can't get any worse with Battlefield, but I don't want to fucking jinx it for myself and everyone else. That's all I'm gonna say.
That is fair. Yeah. Allie, you got any thoughts on this?
I have absolutely no horse in this race. I'm not big on Battlefield. I'm not big on Call of Duty. I'm not big on any of because most of the time when it comes to those games, it's all about the multiplayer, and I don't do multiplayer.
Fair enough. Where did Joe go?
Not a clue. He just
dipped.
There he is.
Oh, okay. What happened, buddy?
I accidentally clicked into another voice channel in somebody's server that was invited to. That was.
Okay. Well, that's.
I've done this.
I can't say I haven't done it as well. All right. If you guys are ready, we're gonna go ahead and go to our final topic for the night.
Yes.
All right. I know Allie's excited about this one. All right, a final topic for the night, and it's going to be our final topic for the next few weeks, so long as the show continues to go on. Hawkeye Season 1 had its 3rd episode this week, and honestly, best episode of the entire show. I think this episode started off strong with a new villain that we never really got to know all that much in the 2nd episode last week, but I feel like you definitely see where she's coming from. And also, I love the fact that they are very, 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 very 100% hinting at Kingpin being in this freaking show. And they're also heavily implying that it is Vincent D'Onofrio with that chuckle that we heard. And I am so fucking pumped to see him return. Just because we have Charlie Cox returning. I think if you're gonna get Charlie Cox to return, you're gonna have to get his counterpart, the second best part of that entire show, which is Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin. Literally played by, honestly, the best person since Michael Clark Duncan that has played him, Vincent D'Onofrio. Even though I think Michael Clark Duncan would have been a really good Tombstone.
So wouldn't the Tombstone actually be the marketing department?
You know which character I'm talking about, you jackass. Anyways, that being said, I personally think this episode is really fun. I think it's definitely the highlight of the series so far, just with that chase scene alone and the fact that the camera spins around the car like 15 times. I thought that was fun. That was a really good one take. I love that these shows are like committing to one takes, and I think it's definitely diverging from the typical Marvel action shit where it's like, oh, look at that, like 15 cuts in one fight scene and with a slight bit of shaky cam. They still do it, but like I think that they're showing that we can do this stuff like this, and we can train for weeks on end getting this shit right. And I personally love it when best example of like the most solid and fluid action that you could ever do, the Raid. That is the best example I can come up with. The movie Raid. It's a I want to say it's Korean. I don't know if it is, but it is an action film, and it's a kung fu film. So maybe it might actually be like Chinese. I think it's a Chinese film. It is.
Well, of course, people have been training martial arts for years, and most people who do those movies are all martial artists in themselves.
Oh well, yeah, no, and honestly, the guy who did that, he's like the main character. He played Bihan, aka Sub-Zero, in the latest Mortal Kombat movie. So Yeah, he's starting to get into American films, and I honestly can't wait for it. I still think that if we can learn anything from foreign films, it is how to shoot action. And I'm telling you, I think Marvel's starting to learn that lesson. Because people seem to really like the one takes. Well, no, people really like the one takes. Shang-Chi was a really good example of that, which is they were starting to kind of diverge from it, at least in the first half. Then it became its typical Marvel fluff in the last half. But, you know, it was still a good attempt at trying to change the formula with how that you do action in a Marvel film / show, whatever. I personally, I'm super excited to see where this show goes, and I'm gonna shut up so Allie can fangirl.
I have been holding back. I want that on the record because I've got a lot to say.
You're 100% ready to go.
I binge watched these 3 episodes last night. As soon as I was able to, Xbox was on. I was on Disney Plus. Hawkeye was going. Mm-hmm. Start to finish, love it. Hawkeye is my favorite Avenger purely because he, in my mind, he represents the humanity of the group. Mm-hmm. Everything from what he does in S.H.I.E.L.D. to he's the only one with a family that is separate from everything.
Yeah.
And just his interactions with his family in this series are a great example of that. How much he wishes he could be there with them, but he's still got this attitude of, I have to help people.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Goku.
No, Goku wants to fight everybody, not help everybody.
Kind of chaotic.
But
somebody who just like...
You say you're more powerful than insert powerful villain here, and you just hear a knock on your door going, duh, 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 duh. Hey, it's me, Goku!
Episode 3.
Yeah.
From the minute he gets his hands on the bow and quiver.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, that is everything I need in a Hawkeye fight scene.
Oh yeah, it was fantastic, yeah.
Or if somebody from JoJo tries to, or Goku gets to stand.
And just, I think, since the first Avengers, I think this is the first time we have seen the trick arrows.
No, there was some trick arrows in Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Not this level.
Arrow.
No, not this level. No, there was
nowhere near this level.
Yeah, I would say there was definitely a lot more in Avengers, in the first Avengers film, than this. I love the Pimtech arrow. That was as soon as I saw the Pimtech logo, I'm like, oh, I know what they're doing. That was cool. I was like,
not just him using all the arrows, but
yeah,
her discovering what the different arrows do.
Oh yeah,
and her reaction.
There's 4 more arrows that are more dangerous than an explosive arrow. It was like, yeah, I guess. Yeah. What do you have, a nuclear bomb arrow?
Wouldn't surprise me.
Honestly, yeah.
The war crime arrow.
Yeah, the war. Well, no, I would call it the warhead. I would just call it warhead. I wouldn't even call it an arrow. I just call it the warhead. Also, I think the head tracksuit mafia guy, the big guy with the beard, I think he's been juicing on something. Because, okay, well, the USB arrow, I get it. It's got like a dulled edge. But from that distance and that velocity and how that should still go into him a little bit, and it just, I think we're gonna find out that he's got a little bit of super soldier serum in it, just based off of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Either that,
or he like probably chugs down like a whole thing of protein.
I'm telling you right now, no. What's up?
But what this episode has done more than that is it showed just how much the entire MCU has affected Hawkeye.
Oh, yeah.
From all the interactions dealing with harming his sense of hearing to him having to get past everything he's done as Ronin, especially with Echo being a direct result of his actions as Ronin.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree.
And the fact that he's not over the fact that his best friend had died because of him.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, no, he's definitely gonna. Yeah.
But it broke my heart when he made the comment that he is not a role model to anyone, because that is absolutely not true.
Right.
I feel like he's. I'm cool.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, he did most of the shit he had to do because it was his job, but.
I think he's still clinging on to the fact of what he did when he was Ronin whenever he said that.
Yeah.
I think that's really what it is like, as soon as he became Ronin, he's like, no, I'm not a role model. What I did was wrong.
When he was doing what he was doing as Ronin, it was purely out of mourning and anger for what Thanos did.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And seeing the Ronin costume resurface brought all that back to the surface for him.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I do have to wonder, because in the same night I binge watched Hawkeye, I watched Black Widow, the after credits scene where
oh, I know where you're getting at. Yeah, Yelena is supposed to show up in this show.
That's what I was wondering. That's what I was wondering.
It's been heavily rumored that she's going to at least show up for one episode. So I don't know when exactly that will be. I want to say it's before he gets his purple suit. I want to say it's before that.
I did enjoy the commentary on the cartoon Hawkeye mask.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And actually, if you look at it, the cut on his forehead is actually, with the bandages, it looks like an H.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, old boys, this?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
This is... We've seen before how the Marvel series and the Marvel movies have dealt with stuff like PTSD and all that. I think this is probably the most in-depth look we have gotten.
I wouldn't say necessarily PTSD 100% so far, but definitely wear and tear on the body for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, and definitely wear and tear on his mind as well, but I wouldn't necessarily go as far to say PTSD. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he doesn't have it, but I don't think they're really showing signs of like him having... Like, I would say the best example of them showing PTSD was Tony having his panic attacks.
Oh yeah, that was definitely
a big one. That was one
one
of the bigger examples of like, oh yeah, no, that's PTSD. From there, that's other stuff. I would say that's probably the best example in the MCU so far of PTSD, other than Bucky. But Bucky was kind of mind control, so that's Bucky is a whole
kettle of fish in and of himself when it comes to PTSD.
Well, actually, no. In Falcon and Winter Soldier, they showed they did a pretty good job with Bucky and PTSD.
You are correct. You are correct.
I will say this: Falcon and Winter Soldier made me genuinely respect Bucky and Sam. Don't get me wrong, I always liked them, but I never really respected them. That show made me respect them as a whole. Now, don't get me wrong, it definitely got a little too preachy in my opinion at the end. They definitely didn't stick the landing on Falcon and Winter Soldier. It got a little too preachy.
I'm looking forward to the moment where Clint is actually able to fight past everything he's done to become Hawkeye as we appreciate him.
I genuinely think he is going to pick up LARPing, though. I think they're heavily...
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, because you could see how much fun he was having. I just recently rewatched that third episode because my mom was watching all 3 episodes earlier. And I agree, I think, personally. I will say this, the most heart-wrenching moment was when he had to talk to Nate and Kate had to write down what he was saying. I was like, oh, that hits me, right? You know, that hits me right there.
Yeah.
That sucks. And then the line that really made it hit home was like, well, it's great to hear your voice. I was like, oh, man, that fucking sucks.
This series has been...
I'd say
one that has hit the heartstrings a lot.
Oh yeah, I would say this is probably up there with one of the better series because Loki was the most risk-taking, I would say, and actually paid off. Like, WandaVision was pretty risk-taking as well, but it just kind of devolved into the typical Marvel fluff. Whereas Loki, I feel, did a better job of taking risk. I would still say What If is definitely the more accessible out of the series that they've had, other than Falcon and Winter Soldier. Falcon and Winter Soldier is pretty accessible. But I would say this is definitely like the best show out of the MCU so far. Like, it's just been consecutively hitting everything on the head, like an arrow to a target. It's consistently hitting every mark.
Well, and you know, I was gonna say Loki also did a really great job of some episodes showing that the God of Mischief himself actually does feel genuinely vulnerable when he's in situations that he's like, I don't know if I can be able to walk out of this or not.
Yeah.
The way I feel like they portrayed Loki in the show Loki, it was the fact that he's a kid. He was a kid. He's one of those kids that he did a lot of the shit he did. Wasn't because he wanted to. It was because he did it for attention. That nobody gave him the attention he needed and deserved as a kid. So he did all the shit he did was for, I need attention. This is the only way I'm probably going to get it.
No, I completely agree with that. I agree with that statement wholeheartedly. I do think that's kind of what we were looking at there. But yeah.
I am curious what Jack's story is.
Oh, that guy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I am curious too.
I brought us back to the Hawkeye.
Yeah. No, I'm curious as well. I'm telling you right now that there's been multiple characters that, like, I saw a breakdown from New Rockstars, which, by the way, shout out to New Rockstars for those of you that don't watch them. I love their breakdowns. They're entertaining as all hell. And it helps me learn a lot of nerdy shit that I didn't know. Not sponsored by them whatsoever. I just want to give a good shout out to them. But that being said, I definitely think there's going to be some connection because he really wants that Ronin sword. And I'm telling you, it's not for collecting. I think he's probably either the designer of that sword, or he originally had it made for him and Clint stole it. I think there's multiple options you could take on that. I personally do think that Vera Farmiga's character is in on this more than she appears to be. I definitely feel like the mom is in on this a lot more than she gives off. And I think that Armand... not Armand.
Secret sushi recipe inside it.
I still think that Jack is technically a red herring. I don't necessarily think he's not in on it. I think he is. But I think he is a red herring to distract Kate from who the true villain is that she's been, close to, and that's her mom. I think her mom is involved with Kingpin in some way, shape, or form.
Wow, they're gonna do that.
Yeah,
they're gonna do that shit.
Kind of a secret villain.
The main secret villain is the parent of the second main character of the whole series.
Well,
it wouldn't surprise me because they did kind of hint at that with the father, the dead guy,
Armand,
confronting her. Yes.
Yeah.
Armand's confronting her about how she's gotten her success.
Yeah, no, I agree. I also think that the mom killed the original dad. I think because, like, theoretically, he said he was downstairs in his office, and then they just kind of leave, and she appears out of nowhere. It's kind of like, no, you did something. I think we're gonna find out that either the dad had, like, ties to Kingpin, which would be interesting, like he owed money, and then I think that the mom killed the dad.
Worst case scenario, it'd be like Terminator 2. Hawkeye gets off on his own, and he looks at Kate and is like, "Yeah,
your mother's an evil dude.
Your mother's evil, and your dad's dead. So
yeah."
You have two choices. You either become the next supervillain, or you help me take him down.
Yeah. No, I agree.
You just want to go slap bad guys with bag of shawarma or
Yeah.
just throw hands?
Yeah. All right.
That musical in the first episode, though, like.
Oh my god, yeah.
If I was in that audience, I would have just fallen asleep or just be like,
I don't know. The I Can
I'm
Do
gonna
This
put
All Day
money
is
back this
gleefully
shit.
over the top. There's a TikToker that I follow. I think what they did is they went up to, and honestly, it would make a lot of sense. Like, it's at first it's like, okay, so we're making a musical about Steve, and it's freaking Sam. And he's like, no, this is disrespectful as shit. What the fuck is wrong with you? And then they go to
Oh, I know what
Rhodey.
you're talking about. I follow her too.
Yeah, they go to
her too.
Rhodey, and he's like, no, fuck you. And then finally they go to, and it's like, who do we know? And then you just see Scott Lang is like,
hell no.
yeah, no, and you just see Scott Lang is like, ha, yeah, this is a good idea. Okay, so he said, what did he say? Oh, his favorite thing to say was, I can do this all day. And it's like, oh, so were you at the Battle of New York? It's like, I mean, technically.
So there's a
Great one shot.
TikToker, Straw Hat Goofy.
Mm-hmm.
He made a comment about Ant-Man being in the musical going back to Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
With Cap, and Tony, and Scott being in that alley. And just that off chance of somebody passing by, seeing them and being like, oh, hey!
Yeah.
And that starting this whole rumor mill that Ant-Man was actually in the Battle of New York.
No,
Really?
From a structural standpoint, because I think that they eventually go into, like, Thanos and everything else like that. I think from a structural standpoint, they're like, okay, if we're going to do the Battle of New York and we don't want to introduce this random secondary character, might as well say that Ant-Man was at the Battle of New York. From a introductory value, they're just gonna keep him there, and it makes sense in some ways. But yeah, no, it's like
No, I'm.
they actually released that track on Spotify, by the way. The I Can Do This All Day, the full song.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I can do this all day. Yeah, no, I just. Oh man.
I'm looking forward to seeing, just where the series goes from here.
No, I agree as well. I'm also super interested to see where it goes from here. If they don't introduce Kingpin, I'm going to be very, very, very disappointed. But I'm about 98% sure that they're going to introduce Kingpin. So.
I hope that Clint.
Come in
I hope that
I'm back, bitch.
I'm hoping that Clint's able to keep his promise, just wraps everything up and just gets a jet. No.
Yeah, I think they are gonna do that. I think he is gonna be able to spend Christmas with his family. But I think it's gonna be super last minute.
Oh yeah, no. If they do that, we're definitely going to get the daily calls from his family, wondering where he is, wondering if he's going to be able to be there, and just they're going to be in the middle of their Christmas celebration, and he's going to walk in the door.
No, I think, or probably limping, but still, you know. Yeah,
well,
I think it's going to happen that way. I 100% agree with that. That being said, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this shit up. Now, Allie, I know that you said you wanted to go ahead and try and promote something that you might be a part of.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
Okay,
yet.
so not yet. All right, so that's a teaser.
We've still got a good while before that happens.
Okay, so we got a teaser for a while in the future. But that being said, I do want to say go ahead and follow BlackChat56 on Instagram, and on TikTok, as well as no, it's just Instagram and TikTok. That way you can get weekly updates of what we're going to be talking about that week. And like I said, this we do this every Saturday at 8:30 Central Standard Time. On Twitter, go ahead and follow the SnodaCast official Twitter. I think it's just called SnodaCast, and that way you can get regular updates, give or take, on when we're live, when we're and also what we're going to be talking about that week as well.
We have more viewers.
No, we're still at one. We had 2 viewers at a time. So, but that's just to say that if we have anybody that's watching this post post live, then if they want to get updates and they want to try to watch it live without having to get like a notification bell or anything else turned on, go ahead and follow us on Twitter at SnodaCast, as well as BlackChef56 on TikTok and Instagram, and that's where I post everything. So that being said,
make us sell out so you don't have to be a sellout.
Exactly. That being said, this has been SnodaCast episode 9. I have been your host, BlackChef56, and I have been joined by Allie.
Hello.
Joe.
I love all you people.
Oh, how sweet. And of course, Gallows.
It's a Christian.
Love you.
Yodi.
Yeah. And I have been your, like I said, this has been SnodaCast episode 9, and I've been BlackChef56, and I will see you